In the last lesson, you'll learn something very, very important. You learned how to form a complete sentence, such as, I live in a house, or you do homework, or he washes, do you remember the z? Huh? He washes the dishes, or she listens to classical music. Well, in this lesson, you're going to learn two other very important elements. First, you're going to learn how to form a negative sentence, how to make your sentence negative. And secondly, you'll learn one of the ways to form a question in English. Okay? So let's begin first with the negation, how to form a negative sentence. I just told you, I live in a house. Consequently, I don't, okay? I don't live in an apartment. You do homework, but maybe you don't we'll use make this time, you don't make the bed. I don't know, I hope you do, but, or he washes the dishes, but maybe he doesn't, doesn't. So he doesn't wash the laundry. Or she doesn't, she listens to classical music, right? She doesn't listen to rock music. Possibly. I don't know. So you see, a negative sentence in English is formed by adding don't or doesn't and placing it just before the verb. Live, make, I'm speaking French to you. Live, make, listen to, wash, say. You put don't or doesn't before the verb, and that makes the sentence negative. Okay? So let's try an example here. I live in a house. Let's make that negative. I don't live in a house. You make the bed. You don't make the bed. He washes dishes. I mixed up my hands there. Let me try it again. He washes dishes. He doesn't wash dishes. That does point out an important element, though. Do you notice something? The zzz. He washes dishes. Okay? Washes, but he doesn't wash dishes. Watch this. She listens to classical music. She doesn't listen, not listens, listen to classical music. Okay? So we'll be working with some exercises in this lesson that will give you lots of repetition of this, how to make a sentence negative, but we'll get to that in a moment. Now, forming a question. In English, it's relatively simple. You add, what's this? Do or does before the subject of the sentence, and you transform it in that way into a question. For example, I live in a house. Question. Do I live in a house? Okay, that's a strange question. Hopefully I'm aware of whether I do or not, but that's how you form a question. Or you do homework. Let me change it from do. That's going to confuse you. You make the bed. Okay? Question. Do you make the bed? That's my question. You see, do I, do you. Okay? Now, when we talk about this guy right here, When we say he, you can probably guess we're not going to say do. We're going to say does. Okay, so he washes the dishes. Does he wash the dishes? That's a question. Or she listens to classical music. Does she listen to classical music? Yes or no? Okay, so you see, you form a question in English by adding do or does and placing it before the subject of the sentence. Do I? Do you? Does he? Does she? Okay, well, let's do some drills within the lesson itself, which will give you some more practice and probably reinforce your understanding of the structure. So let's go into the lesson itself. I'll see you in a moment. So in lesson 1.5, here you see the second section in which you are to listen. You are to listen, and I will do the talking. Here are the elements that will make up a negative statement. Here is don't
doesn't.
Doesn't. There you go. Don't or doesn't. We'll say I don't. You don't. He doesn't. She doesn't. Okay? And so it could be don't, could be doesn't. It depends on the subject. Here we say he. See he. Here is
live.
Live. And last of all, New York.
New York.
And so how are we going to form this statement? We'll start with the subject. He, he's over here. He, and then
He doesn't live
doesn't live.
He doesn't live in New York.
In New York. There you go. He doesn't live in New York. Okay? And here you see a picture that confirms that reality.
He doesn't live in New York.
But rather,
he lives in Detroit.
Lives in Detroit. Okay. Next section. I'll do this one as well. Here you see, again, don't or doesn't. In this case, because he is the subject, we're going to say doesn't. So, he doesn't make the bed. He doesn't make the bed.
He doesn't make the bed.
Okay, and here's the picture again that confirms that.
He doesn't make the bed.
He doesn't make the bed, but rather what does he do?
He washes the dishes.
Right, he washes the dishes. He washes the dishes. Last one I'll do, and you can do the last two. Even though I know you're supposed to listen, nonetheless, it's good practice for you. Again, we have don't or doesn't. Then we have he. And of course, therefore we will use doesn't with he. And here we have listen, and this is music. Okay? And so, how would we say this sentence? He doesn't listen to music. Let's listen to it.
He doesn't listen to music.
Right, and here's the picture.
He doesn't listen to music.
But rather, what does he do? Now we're going to use the word does. He does the homework. He does the homework, or he does his homework.
He does the homework.
Okay? Now let's see you try and form these statements from the different elements that make up will make up this negative sentence. What does this symbol right there correspond to? Go ahead and say it. Tell me, what does this symbol correspond to? What or what? What is it? Tell me. Right. Don't or doesn't. And here we have he. Here we have, of course, wash. And there we have dishes. Dishes. So go ahead and you say the sentence. How do you form this sentence? Okay, hopefully you said he doesn't wash the dishes.
He doesn't wash the dishes.
Right.
He doesn't wash the dishes. He listens to music.
He listens to music. Okay. And now the last sentence I'd like you to form. Here we have don't or doesn't. I'm sorry, you should do the talking. What is this? What does this symbol correspond to? Right. Don't or doesn't. Here we have he. Here we have, right, say, and this is hello. Okay. So how would you form this sentence right here? Go ahead and say it. Right. He doesn't say hello. And here's the picture that corresponds to that. And then
says goodbye.
He says goodbye. He says goodbye. Okay, what I'd like you to do in this section, here you're going to speak again. You'll do the talking, and I will relax and listen. Although at first I'll guide you with my hands. I'd like you to form this negative statement right here, and then the affirmative statement too, which provides the reality of the situation. Okay, so number one, I will use my hands, and you will say the sentence. So here we go. New York. Right. Hopefully you said, he doesn't live in New York. And what is the affirmative statement? Go ahead. Say it. You say it. You say it. Detroit. Right. You should have said...
He lives in Detroit.
He lives in Detroit. Good. Let's try the next one. Number two. I'll guide you again with my hands this time. Okay, you should have said this.
He doesn't make the bed.
Right. He doesn't make the bed. Okay. What's the next one? Make the affirmative statement now. Right. Hopefully you said this.
He washes the dishes.
Right. He washes the dishes. He washes the dishes. Okay. One more where I'll guide you, and then the last two you can do by yourself. Here we go. Right. He doesn't listen to music. And what does he do? Homework. Yeah, that's right. So he does homework. He does homework. Okay. Now numbers 4 and 5, you just say them. I won't help you with my hands at all. Go ahead. Say this one. What does he not do here? Good. He doesn't wash the dishes.
He doesn't wash the dishes.
Right. He doesn't wash the dishes. What does he do? Go ahead, say it. What does he do? He listens to music.
He listens to music.
Very good. Okay, now, what doesn't he do here?
He doesn't say hello.
Right, he doesn't say hello. He says the opposite. What's this? What does he say? Okay, remember, not just he say, he says. He says goodbye. Okay, next section. In this section, you're going to learn now how to, or we're going to practice, we've already learned maybe, we're going to practice the formation of a question. And so I want you simply to listen as I practice this with you, or as I guide you through the beginning of it. And first of all, this is a positive answer. This picture means yes. Yes. This picture means no. Okay? All right. Yes and no. So here we go. What are the elements that form the question? Well, this first picture right here corresponds to do, maybe you remember that, or does. Do or does. We'll say, do I, or do you, or does he, or does she. And so in this case, because we're using he, this is live, this is Detroit, of course. Since we're using he, you're going to say does. Does. So that question will be, does he live? That question will be, does he live in Detroit? Does he live in Detroit? Let's listen and see if we're correct.
Does he live in Detroit?
Right. Does he live in Detroit? And the answer is yes.
Yes.
He lives in Detroit.
He lives in Detroit.
Okay, I'll do one more here, then I'll let you do the last three. So again, the question word is
does,
do or does. Do or does. And here's the subject, he. Here's the verb, make. And here's the object, which is a noun. That's bed.
Bed.
Okay, bed. So, how do we form this question? Well, since he is the subject, he, will I use do or does? Well, I'll use does. So, does he make the bed? Does he make the bed?
Does he make the bed?
We're right. Okay, good. The answer is no.
No.
He doesn't make the bed.
He doesn't make the bed.
What does he do? He sleeps. Well, no wonder he doesn't make the bed. He's still in it. All right, you can't blame the guy. All right, let's go on to the next one here. Here we have, now this is your turn. You say this question. First of all, what's this symbol? What does this correspond to? Right, it's do or does, okay? And this, of course, is he. What's this? Listen. And what's this right here? Music. Okay, form this question. Make this question. Go ahead. You say the question. Okay, hopefully you said, does he listen to music? Let's listen.
Does he listen to music?
Right. And what's the answer? And then what's the statement? Okay. Yes.
He listens
He
to music.
listens to music. Yes, he listens to music. Okay, try the next one. Again, you're doing a great job. You continue on your own, so you do the talking. This is do or does. This is he. This is wash. And this is dishes. How do you form this question right here? Go ahead, say it. You say it. You say that. What's this question? Yeah. Does he wash the dishes? Let's listen to it.
Does he wash the dishes?
Right, does he wash the dishes? Now, what's this answer? Right, hopefully you said no, or excuse me, no, he doesn't wash the dishes. You can't say no, he washes the dishes, because that would be a contradiction. It must be he doesn't wash the dishes. And down here we have he listens to music. That's what he does.
He listens to music.
Okay, the last one, I promise, I won't say a word. You'll do the whole thing. Go ahead, you say it.
Do, does, he, say. Hello.
Okay, now, I'm talking, sorry.
Does he say hello?
Uh-huh.
Yes. He says hello.
Okay, it's hard for me to be quiet that long. How did you do? Hopefully you were successful as you went through that activity right there. Okay, let's go on to the next section now. In this section, you're going to say this question, and you're also going to say the answer yourself. But you don't have the individual pictures that guide you through the formation of the question. And so you, at first, for the first two items, I'm going to guide you with my hands. But after that, it'll be up to you, right from your head, your mind, to form the question and the answer. So here we go. The first one, okay? What's this? Yeah, this is do, and this is does. Which is it, do or does? Well, we're talking about this man right here, and so we're going to say, does he live in Detroit? Okay, hopefully you were saying the words before I was, but I'll be quiet here after. Does he live in Detroit? Okay, the answer? Say it, come on. Yes. Right, yes, he lives in Detroit, okay? Let's try the next one. I'll guide you again on this one. Okay, hopefully you said.
Does he make the bed?
Does he make the bed? Okay, and so the answer is?
No.
No. What's this? Yeah, he doesn't make the bed. Okay, now your turn to work at this entirely independently without my help. How do you form this question? Say the question, and I'll be quiet. Okay, that should have been, does he wash the dishes? Let's listen to it.
Does he wash the dishes?
Okay, the answer? Go ahead, keep going. Right. No, he doesn't wash the dishes. Okay, try the next one. Number 4. Form the question. Up to you. Go ahead, say it. Say it. What's the question? Does he listen to music? Good. What's the answer? Okay. No, he he doesn't. He doesn't listen to music. Okay, you're hopefully doing better than I am here.
No, he doesn't listen to music.
Okay, next one. Form this question. What's the question being asked here? Say it. Okay. Does he say hello? Okay, that was the question.
Does he say hello?
And here's the answer. Say it. Say the answer. Okay. Yes.
Yes.
He says hello.
He says hello. He says hello. Okay, now we have in this next section, now it's for you to speak. I will help out a little bit at first, but after that you'll be on your own. We have series. I think we have 5 series of 3 statements each. The first statement is a question. The second is a negative sentence, and the third is affirmative or positive. It's a declaration, a statement. Okay? So here we go. Number 1. Go ahead and you say it. I'll guide you at first. Oh, whoa. What did I do? I did does, didn't I? But look, I didn't notice the subject. It's not he. It's you. So it's not does. Here we go. Let's start again. Right. Do you live in a house? Do you live in a house? Let's listen.
Do you live in a house?
Okay, now make it negative. You don't live in a house. Okay? Notice how we said don't this time. He doesn't. She doesn't. But you don't, and I don't. Okay? Now let's make the affirmative statement down here. Okay? Yep. You live in an apartment. You live in an apartment. Okay? Try the next one here. Here we go. Okay, so notice this time I used does because we're talking about someone. We're saying he or she. So does he do, with homework, you do homework, but you make a bed. So does he do homework or the homework? Does he do the homework? All right, let's make the negative statement right here. Okay? He doesn't do the homework. He doesn't do the homework. Let's listen to it.
He doesn't do the
All
homework.
right. Okay, good. How do you say this? What does he do? Right. He listens to music. Good. He listens to music. Now, numbers 7, 8, and 9, I'm not going to say anything. I'll let you do the work. Here we go. Form this. You say this statement right here. Say the question, I should say. Form the question. Go ahead. Okay, this is rock music. Rock music. Okay, classical music, rock music. Okay, so let's listen.
Does she listen to rock music?
Right. Notice the question is does, because we're talking about somebody. She. Does she listen to rock music? Okay, and the answer is, or I should say the negative statement is, go ahead, say it.
She doesn't listen to rock music.
Right, she doesn't listen to rock music. Okay, what does she do? Say it. Right. She listens. Make sure you said listens, not listen. Listens. She listens to classical music. So remember, it's I listen, you listen, he listens, she listens. Okay, good. Numbers 10 through 12, we'll let you do those independently in a little while when you're working after this video is finished. Now, the last section. This last section is a kind of a complex activity, but it's an excellent one because it leads up to a conversation between the two of us, which is called an interaction sequence. Here we go. First of all, you're to form this question. And so you'll look at these images here, these elements that make up the question, and you'll say, do you live in New York? Click.
Do you live in New York?
Good. Okay, we're on the right track. The second thing to do is to listen. You're going to listen to the answer. The answer.
No, I don't live in New York. I live in Michigan. And you? Do you live in New York?
Okay, so no, I don't live in New York. This is me speaking, I live in Michigan. And you? Do you live in New York? And now the last step is you answer the question. And you'll say, yes, I live in New York, if you do. Or you'll say, no, I don't live in New York. I live in Philadelphia. Or I live in California. Or I live in Egypt. Or probably you don't live in California or Philadelphia because you probably would speak English already. So I live in Egypt. I live in France. I live in Mexico. Whatever the answer is for you personally. Let's do another one together like this so you get the idea. Okay, first we're going to form the question. So, does he make the bed? Notice I said does he. I don't say do he. Does he? Do you? Do I? But does he? So does he make the bed?
Does he make the bed?
The next step, we're to listen to the answer. Click.
No, he doesn't make the bed. And you? Do you make the bed?
He doesn't make the bed. That's shameful. And do you? Do you make the bed? And now the last step is you answer the question. You'll say, yes, of course, I make the bed. Whether it's true or not, I'm sure you'll say yes. Okay? And so that's how you handle this particular section. I'll let you do one independently right now, okay? So the first step is form the question. Go ahead, say the question. Okay, let's listen.
Does she listen to music?
Hopefully that's what you asked. That's the question you asked. Okay, now listen. The next step is to listen to the answer.
Yes, she listens to music. And you? Do you listen to music?
And the last step is to answer that question. Do you listen to music? And you say... Right, you probably said, yes, I listen to music. Everybody listens to music. We all love it. We all love music, okay? Well, that section you'll be doing independently in just a moment after this video finishes. And then we're going to watch right now a video of the conversation. That's a pretty funny looking picture of me. A video of a conversation that you're going to have with me in just a little while. You'll try and carry it out right now in this video. You'll try and carry out the conversation. But later, after this video is finished and you work independently, you can try it again. And after you've practiced all the exercises, I think you'll have even greater success probably. So let's take a look at the video right now. Hello. I have some questions for you. You ready? Here we go. Do you live in New York? Do you live in New York? Answer me. Go ahead. Do you live in New York? Yes? No? Okay, now ask me. Ask me this question. Come on. All right, okay. No, I don't live in New York. I live in Michigan. Do you make the bed? Do you make the bed? Yes or no? Do you make the bed? I see. Okay, now ask me this. Ask me this question right here. Ask me. Repeat it. Do you make the bed? That's right. Okay. Yes, of course. I make the bed. Look at the picture. You can see. I make the bed. Good. Number 3. Do you listen to music? Do you listen to music? Yes or no? Tell me. Do you listen to music? Okay, ask me now. Ask me. Good. Yes, I listen to music. I listen to classical music and I listen to rock music. Classical rock music. And let's see. Do you say hello? Do you, like when you see me, do you say hello? Yes or no? That's very kind. Ask me this question up here. Ask me this question. No, I don't say hello. I say goodbye.